It's race day in Sakir under the lights. It is great to have your company for the Bahrain Grand Prix. A fantastic venue. Every seat in the house is a good one, including yours. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yes, we're back. Season 5 testing. And of course, yes, you'll notice the boys are donning the F1 liveries. Of course, next week we've got another test as well, and another one after that as well. So, weekly tests coming. We've got 3, in fact, and well, tracks to be announced in the server. Nothing to get too excited about now. Just boys getting some continuity back in the action of this new update on this old game, I dare say, and well, a bit foreign to everybody. So, and of course, if you're fans of ours, you know how we do things with the groups and all that sort of stuff. And well, this is another good way of seeing who is who in the zoo. Of course, nothing competitive tonight, folks. This is just for the guys to get their eye in. And of course, yes, Pillars. Well, there he is in chat. Fantastic. And well, there you go. Yes, senior and junior in the lobby. And well, it has been quite a while since they've both been in there, but fantastic to see them both in there. And well, the Pills, the inaugural champ, there he is there. And well, fantastic to see him in the chat. Of course, yes, pre-season testing, as I did touch on, folks. And well, there you go. So, well, there, well, shedding light on nationalities is what the Moondog is saying, of course. Well, Mini Jamaican and Senior, well, he's got a Union Jack next to his name. They're meant to be father and son. And, well, unless Senior's doing something untoward or hasn't told us something that we all should know about. Well, there you go. Holy moly, it is raining in a qualifying session at Bahrain. That's exactly what you want. I've never seen rain in Bahrain ever, but nevertheless, this game is absolutely funny. Yes, Moondog, rain in a quali session in the desert. You never heard of it. And, well, there you go. First time driving in 26 in the rain. Then, well, their first time for a lot of things there, Lukey boy, of course. And, well, Lockie in the chat as well. As I did touch on, we're not going to get too excited throughout this session, even during the race. Of course, this is more for the drivers, just to get their eye in, folks. And for us to have a bit of a sneak peek. And, well, there is the Z, the Group 2 champ. And, well, fantastic. I do believe he received his trophies today. And his award for his magnificent season last season. And, well, done a fantastic job, did the Z, and well-deserved too. So congratulations yet again, my man. And, well, let's just hope you have similar success for this upcoming one. But nevertheless, it is the same for everybody else. I know a lot of guys are a little bit treacherous about this one. And, well, just trying to find the love, of course. We all know the story about the wings and the batteries and all that sort of stuff, and we're not going to harp on that too much. Of course, it is a different form of racing, and it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to. So I dare say the boys are here to do all that. Junior in the chat, are we being silly, Rain? Well, I don't know. The weather was set to dynamic, as it always is. And I would never have thought I would have had to have set it to dry in Bahrain, knowing that, well, the circuit should be dry regardless. Of course, we are in the desert, but we've got Inters on. And currently having a good look at Jazz Blue Cat. This is what the cars sound like, folks. And, well, there you go. There it is. A bit of a whistle and a bit of a, well, it sounded like a 4-cylinder, didn't it? But nevertheless, we will push on. Treacherous conditions out there, of course. I dare say it will be, well, a bit treacherous in the beginning. This rain should dissipate. I dare say it will. And, well, the conditions should clear up for everybody out there. Junior in the chat, how are you, my friend? And well, I hope you got some good rest, of course. This lad relies on his beauty sleep, and I keep telling him it doesn't work for him, but nevertheless he keeps having a try anyway. And well, all credit to the junior, but nevertheless, Jazz Blues Cat out there at the moment. There is Lockie, and we do welcome back Lockie, of course. He will be, well, he's put his hand up for a full-time seat for this upcoming season, of course. Was there at the beginning of last, but due to work commitments, just could not commit last season and had to forfeit that one. But nevertheless, he is back. He is here in a social race. And, of course, great to see him. There is the junior, as we were touching on. And, well, there you go. In the Red Bull livery, there is Mr. Lukey Boy. And, well, in the rain. Not too happy about a wet session, I dare say, is the Lukey Boy. But he will push on. And, of course, donning the Cadillac. We've got Scotty in an Audi. And, well, there he is there. And, well, there you go. Fantastic. And, of course, well, Audi using the BP. And, of course, why wouldn't they? We had a BP livery, of course, a BP F1 team a few seasons ago. Nevertheless, I digress. Of course, it is the fuel of the Audi F1 team, and there it is there. Of course, you can see it on that. What do they call that these days? The good old shark fin. But nevertheless, it was ugly yesteryear, still is ugly today. But nevertheless, well, that is where it's at the moment. And well, who is this? The Group 2 champ. It is Z, and of course, pulling at my heartstrings, donning the Ferrari, and of course, Fury as well. But nevertheless, absolutely brilliant. These boys just getting their eye in, just doing their thing. And this is all about just providing them a platform just to get their stuff all in order, yeah, all in time for the season opener, of course. And probably a good segue for that. The season opener will be on the 8th of August, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just double check that. 8th of August. I lie, excuse me, the 7th of August, which is a Friday. And yes, race day has not changed, and the season will finish on the 11th of December, I do believe, off the top of my head. So that is the important dates, of course. The driver draw, let me just double check the dates in the server. But I'm pretty sure the driver draw, excuse me, where are my notes? There they are there. And, well, the driver draw is on the 26th of July. The calendar gets released on the 1st of August. Of course, these boys design their liveries, and they will be due on the 5th of August. And, of course, as I did touch on, season starts the 7th of August. Season ends the 11th of December. And, well, there you go. The sign-ups have gone out in the server. And, well, boys have signed up actually on the recruit at the moment. And, well, looking for guys who want to be a part of us and, well, just carry on the journey that we've all been on, of course. Lots of guys in the server at the moment. The grid, well, the list is getting very full, and got some reserves on there as well. And, well, it all just depends, of course. There is 40-odd drivers in the server, and let's just hope more of them as the reserves put their hand up this season. Otherwise, we will be making changes, as we did touch on last season. But nevertheless, they are in fruition and are happening as we speak, of course. And, well, there you go. Z just breaking himself in. Very tricky conditions, of course. I dare say these guys would not have practiced this track in the wet. I don't think anyone would have. I've never seen it rain here in real life. Nor would it, I wouldn't think. And, well, there you go. Z just doing his thing, of course. And, well, let's just jump on board with the Group 2 champ. I dare say he's not going to mind too much, not too competitive. It is a wet session, and just to give us a bit of a feel at home for what it's all about. And of course, yes, the less ground effect on these cars in real life and on the game, of course. They are a little bit understeery, oversteery, depending on how you set up the car. Very much a bit more twitchy is what I should say. And, well, I mean, a lot more of an enjoyable driving experience in that regard, but it has just taken a little bit of aspect away from the racing, of course, and we all do know if you have got the game and you have driven on it and have done a Grand Prix on it, we all do know what Max Verstappen was and is and has been talking about the last X amount of months or so, of course. And, well, it's just very interesting to see that, well, I mean, you could put people in identical cars. It is this spec in particular, it is not about the talent you have behind the wheel. It's about how good you can manage that battery. And, yeah, I mean, the gaps will close up. It is very interesting. And I dare say it's going to change quite a little bit as the patch rolls out and they keep updating the game and so on and so forth, as we all know it. love it to be. But nevertheless, yes, we're currently watching Senior, and there he is there in at the Williams. And what number has he got? Has he put on the Albon number, or has he gone the Carlito? Of course, and well, we'll never know, of course, donning his number anyway. And well, fantastic stuff from Mr. Senior. Great to see him on the grid, and well, first time in a long time me commentating on this man. Of course, it's only a pre-season test, but nevertheless, he is still on the grid regardless. Of course, Formula 4 was the last time we got to do our thing with this man, and well, there you go, on track in the Williams, just getting out of the way of who is that. If that is, who was that? I'm not too sure who that was. That might have been his son. That might have been Junior. Was it Junior? No, it wasn't. It was Brian Bromley, and that certainly was. And there he is there, of course. And, well, Brian doing his thing. We do welcome back Brian. He had been, well, intermittent at the start of last season, but he assures me he wants to come back, and he's back with a bang, of course, at the moment, with the Red Bull Racing livery on at the moment. But there you go. Have a look at this. Oh, the trees are quaking. Of course, Mr. Altitude, the groomer. Oh, he's got a heap of names, this bloke. Oh, but there you go. We do welcome Suicide 5. Well, look at this. He's, well, he's getting all a little bit excited, and I dare say his juices are starting to flow. And, well, it's a bit risky subject if you're talking S5, but nevertheless, he is whetting his appetite, and hopefully we might see him back on circuit very, very soon. But great to see you in chat there, mate, and I do hope you're doing well. There is Brian, of course, getting himself underway. Let's bring up some detail for everybody at home, and of course, yes, there's the tyres, of course. Bring up the telemetry, why not? Bit of lap data and a full track map, of course. There it is there. And of course, you can see those highlighted sectors. They are the active aero sectors, of course. Yes, the straight modes and all that sort of stuff. And, well, there you go. We'll delve into that a little bit further as pre-season continues, of course. Yes, we'll be here next Friday and the Friday after doing a little bit of a test session for these lads. Of course, there's only 10 in on at the moment, of course. A lot of guys could not make it, but nevertheless, they might be around next week. They are not compulsory, of course. This is all just to help everybody, of course, get acclimatized to this new spec and be ready for round one. Yeah, the boys! And absolutely brilliant. So Brian just doing his thing. And, well, not going to really commentate too hard on the race or anything like that. Of course, as I did touch on, it is all for the drivers. It is not for us. And just providing the platform. And, of course, well, they can go back and have a look at the stream if they need be, of course, just to get some data or whatever it is they need. There is a reference for it for them in the server. So nevertheless, there you go. That is what we're doing. And, well, yes, you've probably noticed the F1 liveries. Yes, no, it is not a typo. Of course, just for the first test, the boys will be donning these ones. Of course, the next two tests, they will be on the multiplayer, and then they will get to do well, design their liveries, of course, how they do get put into their teams after the driver draw, design their cars, their team, their colours, and absolutely send it for the remaining of, well, the remaining of the year it would be, because it will take us out to the end of the calendar year. But nevertheless, it is the wettest dry track I've ever seen. It certainly is. It certainly is. I'm not seeing too much spray. The rear wings are opening, so it can't be too wet out there, but it hasn't stopped. And, well, the sessions are 18 minutes long. And, well, there you go. We've got Fury out there on a slick. Let's just have a look at this man, and just to see how much grip there actually is. So it's not too bad considering it's been raining for 10 minutes or so out there on circuit. So, yeah, I don't know if this is well, what would you call this downpour? A glitch downpour? Because it doesn't seem to be affecting the drivers. It hasn't affected the, well, the active aero or anything like that. That's still all active. And, oh, there you go, Fury with a bit of Tokyo Drift as, well, he makes a lot out of me, does the Fury. And, well, there you go. Straight mode, SM, that's what that stands for. And, of course, everybody has that available to them. And of course, that is the front and rear wing opening. OT, overtake mode. That is the front and rear wing opening, followed by a whole heap of battery. And, well, there you go. Absolutely brilliant. So, well, there is Fury, and, well, nearly 5/10 quicker than he has been before. The track is slowly starting to dry out, but it is still raining. Nevertheless, there is Junior on the Inter, and just having a good look at his old man. There he is there, and thought it was his old man, but it is not. It is the Verkinator, and of course these two boys done absolutely stunning battles. Of course himself, Middies Mella Jr., of course Fury was in there as well. JC, who's not with us tonight unfortunately, and of course Scotty popped his head up, and Z as well. It was a pretty cracking back half of the season, I dare say, and really looking forward to the boys getting their teeth stuck into this one nevertheless. But here we go, of course. Well, the Season 3 champ, and I dare say this man is, well, he missed out last season, and I think that might have put the hunger back in this man's appetite, and well, I dare hope so, because when this guy is on, he is an absolute weapon, and well, we look forward to seeing what this man can do this season, of course. But nevertheless, nothing to get excited about. I've got to keep reminding myself and everybody out there, this is just a test, and absolutely brilliant. All in race conditions, of course. 5 minutes left in this qualifying session, and currently on board with Brian Bromley. There he is there, still on the Inter. Fury still having a crack at the soft compound, and well, very tentative putting the power down is the Fury, but nevertheless he got it down, and well, does ever so slightly beat his previous best, and well, a 1:35.606 for that man. Currently P3 at the moment, and well, these times definitely not representative. There is the junior, of course, a bit of a segue to the junior. Where is senior? There he is there in the pit lane. So, well, father and son on the track at the same time, of course, in a test. Fantastic to see, of course. And, well, junior, looking forward to this season is this man. He said he learnt a lot last season on how to go about his racing. Let's just see if he can put what he learnt into practice. Looking forward to seeing this man get his groove on. And, well, there you go. Throws that one in the pit lane. And he manages to get it stopped in time. Very good from the junior. There's Fury out there still circulating, and well, he won't mind that too much, of course. And but I'll tell you what, I might do the boys a solid. If this is raining during the race, we're going to do a quick reset and just do a custom grid, and the boys can have a crack at a dry race. I don't know why it is raining in Bahrain, but nevertheless, the wet stuff is falling from the sky. That means it is raining. Lukey Boy out there in the Cadillac. And, well, we get a good look at this one for the first time, of course. We don't usually use these liveries. Nevertheless, good to have a look at this one. And, well, there is the Cadillac, of course. In a couple of years, that'll be ran and, well, it is owned. But the running gear in that will be all GM, folks. Another manufacturer entering, well, the GM's owner, GM Cadillac's owner, of course, being GM, being the engine manufacturer of that vehicle, and they will be the engine manufacturer of that team, of course. Was set for 2028, but I dare say it might be pushed back a little bit, and getting ready for the, well, the carbon neutral 2030, and maybe the return to V8s, get rid of the batteries, full noise, full bio. Oh, yes, please. But in the meantime, are kind of stuck with this. So, Lukey Boy, there he is there. A 1:35.847 is where he is at the moment. And, well, there you go. There you go. Nothing to get too excited about, as where's Noah all aboard? Well, the Ark has safely been parked up in the docks in the marina here, of course. The marina in the desert that doesn't exist, but nevertheless, we'll make it up as we go. And, well, why not? Absolutely brilliant. Lukey Boy out there on circuit. It is still a bit wet. It is very understeer. He can't get that bite out of that front end. And, well, there you go. It's more of a glitch rain, it seems like, because the track doesn't really look like it's getting too wet. I mean, it has been raining for approximately 18 minutes or so. But nevertheless, the boys are managing to put some power down out of these slow-speed corners and really hold the grip in these high-load corners, of course, as well. And, well, there you go. There is Lukey Boy just proving the point, staying well away from the white paint. And, well, managed to put some power down there, of course. Nothing to get excited at the moment. He's just circulating. This one is not going to count. It will be the next one. as you can see, harvesting that battery. It is not being spent at the moment. And there you go, absolutely brilliant from the Lukey boy. Let's just see what this man has got. I dare say they're all looking for good laps here, but it's not going to matter too much. It is more about the rhythm. And there you go, the battery is on just as he hits the straight. And let's just ride on board with Lukey boy, of course. And well, joined late last season, but when he did join, boy, did he come with a bang. And fantastic to see, of course. Did put up a fight. It came third in that Group 2 championship, I dare say, and well, fantastic stuff from this man, and well, absolutely brilliant. Through the first sector he goes, and well, who is behind him? That looks like Junior, to be honest, but nevertheless, we will stay with Lukey boy, get a lap under his belt, and let's just see if this track has improved for him, of course. Currently level pegging with his previous best, and well, nothing to get too excited about. Absolutely brilliant. Very, very treacherous under braking, isn't it? It looks a bit twitchy, and of course that will just be the teething issues that the boys are all experiencing, and of course setups and everything come into play as well. But nevertheless, these boys are just about circulation, and we'll get that muscle memory back. And of course, as we do know, the new spec, and it is a very different form of racing, and well, more track time, more the merrier, of course. And well, Lukey boy, there he is there, Tokyo Drift style coming out of there. Oh, he's managed to hold it. Fantastic from him, and while he is up by 4/10, of course, and he's on the slick, he set that previous best on an inter, and well, there you go. The track has not really improved, but it hasn't really got wet too much so that you can't set a lap. But nevertheless, absolutely brilliant from the Lukey boy. Here he goes right about now, and on that start-finish straight, spending all that battery, and 135.497 from that man, throws himself up into P3. Does Lockie improve? He certainly does improve. A 34.591 throws him at the top of the timing charts, of course, and here comes Fury. He's currently nearly 5/10 up on his previous best, doing a fantastic job. And let's just see what he's got in the tank, of course. Wet conditions, a 34.7, and throws himself up into P3, of course. Here comes Z, and he'll be the next man to take the checkered flag, but this lap is not going to be representative, and I dare say that is qualifying done and dusted, folks. And, well, there you go. There you go. Little mini session for us, folks. And, well, I dare say the boys appreciated that one. Just to get some track time with these new cars. I dare say they're going to learn a hell of a lot more in the race. But there you go. Yes, we did see you lose that, Junior. And, well, I did see you go 90 degrees left into the wall. And, well, I mean, did a Piastri at Bahrain, and well, there you go, absolutely brilliant. But there you go, Lockie taking the honours, top of the timing tree. There he is there, a 134.591. Junior with a 34.7 even. Fury not too far behind with a 34.790. Of course, Brian a 35.1. Scotty with a 35.4. Lukey boy the same deal. Z with a 35.7. Burke with a 36.2, Senior with a 37.2, and of course, Jazz Bluescat with a 37.4. So, yes, nothing to get too excited about. A bit of a different session, and didn't expect it to be raining in Bahrain, but we will take it. We'll take it. Let's just hope that she's dry for the race. Otherwise, we'll do a quick lobby reset for the boys. And oh, there you go. That's a bit better. That's what it should have looked like in quali. And absolutely brilliant. So, quite funny, Junior reckons he's never done that. Well, I don't think anybody's ever done that, mate, of course. And, well, I don't think Oscar had ever done that prior to the round one at Melbourne. But nevertheless, it all happened under this new spec. And well, it just goes to show you how erratic, or probably uncontrolled type-ish that it is. Of course, it is set program to deploy throughout the lap. And you only got that choice of that beautiful magic button to deploy that battery when you see fit. But it does not last too long, folks, and we're going to see that as this race unfolds. Put the telemetry up for everybody at home, and of course, when these drivers want to review the footage, they can see exactly what they did there, and well, it'll be for everybody. Nevertheless, we wait for these boys to load in, of course, and well, only running with 10. It is a pre-season test, so as we do touch on, the boys are running the F1 liveries, and well, that will change for the next one and the following. Right, there you go, folks, and you can see what the drivers have done, of course. Two opting for the hard compound. That is Junior and Brian. The rest all on the medium. But nevertheless, it is not about the strat. It is not about who finishes first, second, third, or last. It is just to get the rhythm back and to see what these cars can actually do for these guys. There's more of a managing, more of a training sort of a session. And well, Suicide 5 saying memories. Well, yes, absolutely, mate. And well, let's hope you can relive them, of course, in the next coming weeks, of course. A couple more social races to contend with. And then, well, we'll settle for a little bit. The driver draw will happen. And, well, the calendar will be released. The boys will design their liveries and we will fire up on the 8th of August, folks. And the real stuff will get underway, of course. Fury, there he is there, donning the number 8. And, well, yes, of course, well, the 7 will be gone and 77 will be gone. And Fury will be spewing about that, of course, his favourite numbers. And, well, got away with it last season because Bottas, well, with the F1 25 game, wasn't part of it. Cadillac wasn't around in the beginning. Was able to choose the 77 was the Fury. Put his mind at ease, but unfortunately, looks like this season he's had to go with the 8. And, well, there you go. Can't even do a double 7. That'll be 14 because that'll be Fernando's number. And that won't be available for that man as well. There is Scotty in P5, Licky Boy 6th. Of course, Z in 7th, Verk in 8th, Ramsell in 9th, and Jazz Blues Cat in P10. And, well, we wait for these famous 5 red lights. Well, let's just bring up the detail for everybody at home. We did see a couple of spinners, and let's just double check to see who that was. And of course, Verk and Z. And well, there you go. And well, front wing adjustments needed for these two boys. I dare say, no, Verk has got a full complement, does he? Certainly does look like it. Excuse me, that was Z. Verk certainly does not. So there you go. He will need a front nose change. Of course, there is Fury, there is Lockie, there is Junior, and well, there you go. Just having a good old crack on lap 1, and well, they've just got to, well, they can do what they want, of course. They abide by the league rules, but nevertheless, of course, it is a test. They just want to get to the flag, get some laps under the belt, and just enjoy it, of course, because I dare say when the real stuff fires up, and well, it becomes a lot more serious. So you'd want to know exactly what you can and can't do, of course, and well, how far you can push these cars, and that's exactly what these guys are starting to learn. They will find that out this one, and of course the next test, and the test after. And the drivers who have not made the test, unfortunately, well, they're only doing themselves all the world of hurt, as well, Fury on the first lap sets 1:35, 3:13, excuse me. As well, Lockie then retakes the lead. Did qualify on pole, We've got 29 laps of this, folks. So, yeah, just bear with us. It is not a real session. Well, it is a real session. It is a test session. So we're not going to commentate like it was a race, how we do every week in, week out. This is my downtime too, folks. But nevertheless, we're here and we are doing our thing. Fury just looking very, very good at the moment. This is the part of the race where you want to find your rhythm as, well, Verk, where is he? And, well, Verk is out, and, well, there you go. That's not going to help his cause whatsoever. And, well, maybe just finishing up early. Let me just check the Discord, folks, to see if there's anything there. And there certainly is not. So, well, there you go. So let's pay attention to these batteries, folks, of course, and, well, you can see it regenerating under braking. Lifting, coasting does help, but look how quick you spend it. The second you push that battery in, there you go, battery drained. We're on lap 3, and, well, there you go. And he's got Brian right behind him, who has got some battery in his back pocket, and that's exactly what it's all about. It is all about the battery. If you can keep some in your back pocket and harvest as much as you possibly can throughout a lap where you don't need it, and spend it where you do need it, of course. It is very much a yo-yoing type battery use. It is very much a battery management, and more so primary to the actual racing, as we saw there from Mr. Brian Bromley, just getting past Scotty there. Let's have a look at Lukey Boy, who's, well, there you go. Have a look at the front 3 or 4, roughly hovering all around the same battery life. And I think they all worked it out. They thought, well, if I spend it, I'm going to get done. And, well, there is Junior getting all loosey-goosey. And, well, Lukey Boy right behind him. He might sense some blood here, Luke. But no, he just decides to tuck in a little bit. Or you're going to make a liar out of me. Of course, Junior not flinching with the battery either. So these boys just holding their nerve regarding the battery. This will be good for them. And where you can and can't fight, how you can use it, of course. You just don't want to use it in all the places where you think you do and you actually don't, because it absolutely hurts you on that start-finish straight. And if you look at Bahrain, there are quite a few straights and mini straights, 4 to be exact, of course. And well, folks, you definitely need that battery. So this will be a good test to see what is happening. Scotty managing to save some battery this time around and spend a little bit on the straight, but Brian Bromley doing a fantastic job with it at the moment in this very point in time. He's very much level pegging with the guys in front of him, of course, roughly hovering around 50% battery, and well, Brian managing that very, very well. There is Senior, and while donning the Williams livery, and well, doing a stunning job as well, managing that battery. A little bit less, but it's hovering around the same amount as Jazz. There is Z, and just spent a bit of battery to get by, and he's going to have to do some lifting and coasting to bring that battery back up to speed, of course. And well, there you go. You can see it charges very quickly, but it is just a pain, of course. He's got no extra battery through here, and of course, yes, Senior with a little bit extra to spend has got that gap up, of course, while Z needs to lift and coast ever so slightly to build that battery back up. That's where Senior opens up that gap. So we're going to see that throughout the season as well. And toing and froing with the battery. A bit loosey-goosey on exit from Senior, but nevertheless manages to keep it all in a straight line. There is Z right behind him, and well, there you go. Z doing a stellar job there. But who was that? Jazz Bluescat getting real racy around the outside. And well, hanging with these boys. Fantastic to see. This is Jazz's first drive on season 2026 on F125, and doing a great job as well. He's managing that battery very well, Jazz, and well, look forward to seeing this man apply his craft next season, well, the upcoming season, of course, and looking forward to it. Jazz gonna strut his stuff big time as Junior looking for a move here on Fury, and well, that's been brewing. It's been yo-yoing for a couple of laps already, and albeit on lap 5 of 29. Fantastic from these two guys, and well, just a little bit of toing and froing, of course, all in race conditions, and this will hold them all in good stead, folks. Absolutely brilliant. as we just wet the whistle, of course, and well, gaps have stabilised. Lockie has bolted while it's hot. Well, it's 2, 3, and 4 start to squabble, of course, has opened up a massive gap, hasn't it? Of course, while Junior is battling with Fury and Lukey Boy, Lockie's just put the foot down and said, "See you later, gents. Thank you very much." And absolutely stretching his legs, of course. Junior doing a stunning job on that hard compound. His race will come to him towards the end, but nevertheless, he is very hard on his tyres, of course. And excuse me. We'll see how many stops Junior manages to do on this 29-lap race. But Lockie looking very good at this early stage, of course, as well, these boys need to settle, of course, and just find their rhythm. The more they squabble, the more Lockie will get away. And, of course, that's just the nature of the beast with this spec, of course, and he's very much battery yo-yoing, and you can see what's happening at home. Look at Fury's, look at Junior's, and, well, you can make the calculations for yourself. And, well, there you go. I think, excuse me, Fury should have Junior any moment now. Definitely has a lot more battery in the tank, and I dare say Junior will need to try to harvest as much as he possibly can, but I think he might be a bit of a sitting duck here as, well, Fury just homing in, not spending anything, and look how much battery he is saving through the mid-corners. Very, very good, well, a good example of lifting and coasting, of course, and well, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there you go, folks. There you go. I'm going to go on a bit of a mute, folks. Rest the voice, of course. Yes, it is just a pre-season test. It is not a championship race, and just bear with it. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. Lockie is still stretching his legs as, well, Brian Bromley, Lukey Boy, Liam and Scotty, well, all doing battle there and thereabouts. And, of course, Fury has got out of that. He thought, you know what, I'm going to box and get out of this traffic. And, well, Fury always thinking outside the box with his strategies, his aggressive strategies. And, of course, Mr. Fury Strat, it's all in his name, of course. And, well, there you go. Loves it and, well, swears by it. Does a very good job at it too. Fantastic. And, well, he'll be hoping he can start the season how he ended the last. Absolutely on fire was the man. Jazz doing a good job there in P7. Very, very consistent is the Jazz. And, well, looking forward to what this man can do. Awesome stuff, Jazz. And, well, great to see this man put his hand back up for another dip at it and doing good things. Was very new to the game. Let's touch on Jazz for a little bit. He was very, very new to the game last season, wasn't he, folks? And was quite a little bit off the pace to his own admission. But nevertheless, great bunch of teammates he had around him. And, well, of course, Dirty Orange Jr. And I dare say a few of the others would have reached out to him and, well, just gave him some pointers and put their arm around him. And towards the end of the season, he actually caught the back of the grid. It was fantastic to see. And I know he's keen for this next season. Looking like he is, well, picked up where he's left off. In fact, maybe a little bit better. So fantastic to see from the Jazz. Donning the McLaren, I dare say, and, well, yes, he'd be in Oscar's car at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, a Kiwi driving the Aussie car. It's usually the other way around, but nevertheless. Jazz, I'm sure Jazz would appreciate that. Ryan Van Gisbergen, Shane McLaughlin. Well, they're all honorary. They're all adopted Aussies anyway, aren't they, Jazz? Of course, they certainly are. That's the topic for another day. Dirty Orange will have my head in a little minute if he's around in a chat. But nevertheless, fantastic from these boys. There is Lukey Boy just doing his thing, of course. And, well, you can have a look at the batteries. Very much all on even keel. Senior actually saving the most at the moment. And, well, Lee as well doing his thing. Scotty having a whole chunk of battery as well. So this race has got plenty to play out, and I dare say it will as this one unfolds, of course. Just getting used to the battery, and well, that's what this one's all about, folks. As Junior gets by Brian, and well, Brian seen that one coming, well, it wasn't his fight, don't think he just let him go, didn't he? We could see him let him go as Junior very hard on the rear axle. That'll be downshifting extremely quickly, trying to get the thing stopped, of course, using, well, these cars use a hell of a lot of engine braking, of course, especially when they're harvesting as well. So, absolutely brilliant as, well, Fury, 3 seconds for that man. As we'll have a look at the batteries, and well, there you go. Junior spending a bit just to get by Brian, and Brian driving very, very smartly, isn't he? Liking how this man's going about his business. And I'll tell you what, at the moment, I dare say, out of the battery runners, well, the battery race, I reckon he's probably one of the ones that is managing it the best at the moment, I dare say. Senior just doing his thing as well. Of course, not really spending too much battery at the moment. Just hovering with Jazz, just latched onto the back of there and just see what he can do from that point on, of course. Scotty, well, there and thereabouts as well, isn't he? He finds himself 5.5 seconds off Brian a little bit, but he won't mind that. He'll just want the laps, will Scotty, in race trim, of course, and just prep himself nicely for the upcoming season. Of course, all these guys will Z running by himself as well, and Z won't mind that too much because he can flirt with the battery, he can push it to its limits, try to harvest as much as he can, try to harvest less. You can put yourself in all sorts of different scenarios, and that's what this is all about. And I dare say I hope the drivers are doing that, and they're not just running a one typical race, of course. If I was out there, I'd be testing all sorts of different things. That's what these races are for, of course. And well, we have 2 more after this one. Of course, next Friday we will have another crack at a social race. We'll not give away the track just yet, and of course the week after that we'll do our final social race in preparation for the driver draw and season 5 placements, of course. And then well, we kick off season 5 7th of August. Lap 11 approaching lap 12 of 29. And, well, there you go. Lockie leading this one by 11.4 seconds. And, well, there you go. Made the most of a bad situation, of course, on the medium. Stretched his legs while the guys behind were squabbling. And, well, Junior, 11.5 seconds adrift. Brian right behind him and in the sister car. And, well, fantastic to see Brian back on circuit. Just to look at him go. This is really agreeing with Brian. Absolutely brilliant. And, well, we do know he has a weak track. I'm not going to give that one away on stream, but nevertheless, the rest of them are not. And, well, you're seeing Brian do his thing. Man was sorely missed, of course, last season. Has been with us for quite some time. Family commitments and life changed up a little bit for the man. Just could not commit last season. And, well, there you go. He is back and back with a bang and doing a phenomenal job. Looking like he's got some real raw speed. And, well, to be honest with you, saving that battery like an absolute champ. There is Junior there. And maybe he's just tucked in and thought, thought maybe I can learn something off this man. And, well, there you go. Junior has tucked in. See if he can hang on to the rear wing of Brian, who just looks so clean at the moment. Absolutely stunning from that man. And, well, Scotty just doing his thing as well. There is Z as well. And I dare say starting to creep up a little bit as, well, Fury has stopped, of course, the first of the front runners to stop. He's donned the hard compound. Be interesting to see how far these hard compounds go, of course. And, well, there you go. Absolutely brilliant. Scroll back down and, well, Suicide 5. Yeah, he is still there, he's telling me. Absolutely brilliant from the man, of course. And we can only hope we see him back out on circuit real soon. There is Brian Bromley going off circuit. Nevertheless, Junior right by his side. And, well, fantastic from these two. Fantastic. But, well, there you go. Absolutely brilliant. Brian, I tell you what, for battery saving, he's doing a phenomenal job. I just don't know how he's doing it at the moment. Of course, his yellow light, fuel light is on, so he has short filled. So has Z, so has Lukey Boy, and so has Lockie. So, well, excuse me, Brian, as well, as I did touch on. So there's 4 drivers out there that have short filled, and, well, there you go. That might be a reason for their pace, but it wouldn't be too much because they still are going to have to save. If that yellow light is on at this stage, I dare say they will need to save throughout the Grand Prix just to make sure they have enough in the tank to get it over that checkered flag, of course. If they fail to do so, they will not be classified, of course, and, well, there you go. That is not what you want, but absolutely brilliant strategies, brilliant, different thinking outside the box, and that's what we're going to love about this season, of course, and the close racing, which has always been the case here, but nevertheless, looking forward to that when that all happens. But at this stage, nothing to get too excited about. I'll tell you what, we missed that from Lukey Boy, of course. Lukey Boy resubscribed with Prime for 2 months. Oh, he's done another one. Thank you very much, Lukey Boy. This is for you, my friend.
Oh my God, this is the best day of my life. Guys, thank you so much. You're amazing. You guys are amazing.
Thank you for the sub, Lukey Boy. Much appreciated. And I do apologise for not putting that up earlier when you did that. My bad. Well, of course, yes, I'm still in holiday mode, just like the rest of us. But nevertheless, we will push on. Scotty's still out there, 12-lap old mediums. When is he going to get rid of those bad boys? Maybe just testing the longevity of that medium, or maybe just good on his tyres is the Scotty. Of course, a man of many talents is this man, and I dare say we're not going to see this man's hand just yet. Just wants to find his rhythm yet again, and in the pit lane he goes to make his stop, of course. And I dare say, well, if he's done 12 or 13 laps on the medium, the hard compound should absolutely go. That front left doesn't even look like it's spinning. Is it spinning? Yeah, well, it is there, but on that still shot, it did not look like it was spinning, but nevertheless, we'll push on. Of course they rotate. But the front left, when Scotty was in the pit lane there, Suicide, of course, before he made that stop, the front left was not rotating, Mr. Professor. Very good from you. Yes, it wasn't. It definitely didn't look like it. And then when they put on the new set, it certainly did rotate. So, I don't know. It could be just the game. Could be just my eyes. I'm not too sure, but I will double check. And just to make sure I was not tripping. But nevertheless, we will push on. And of course, yes, as you were, the drivers have kept the gap, so which is fantastic to see. And, well, Jazz, there he is there. And, well, he's hanging on, isn't he? Absolutely brilliant from this man, of course. And the battery Senior has spent it as well, so not too sure if these boys in the same chat or what is going on there, and maybe they're just working each other out with the battery and helping each other where to spend it, where not to, and trying to do it that way. Who knows? Of course, they are not in teams just yet. The driver draw has not happened and will not happen until the 26th of July, of course, and well, then they will don into their new teams, design their bad boy livery, the colours of the team name, and of course wear it with pride. They'll be using that all season long. And well, there is a 2-week design phase period, but the boys usually knock it off in about a week and a little bit, week and a couple of days. It usually takes all the teams to get themselves sorted. And yes, let's just hope that all happens and we get the intros all sorted again and ready to go for round 1, which is not too far away, to be honest with you folks. Of course, the date today, what is today? The 26th of June. Of course, well, the 8th of August is when we fire up. So it's just a month and a week, just a month and a week and a half. And yeah, we will be back in full action, ready to go, of course. But nevertheless, Scotty doing a fantastic job. He certainly is by himself, and that's always difficult, of course. And he's sort of hovered. He has stopped. He has got rid of that hard compound. He's put on a fresh set of mediums, and I'll tell you what, he's just starting to close the gap ever so slightly now, isn't he? He's managing that battery extremely well. Lap 16 of 29 here, folks, as we'll flick back up to the top, because obviously Lockie, after pitting from the lead, has come out in P3 and, well, looking to make a move on Junior, who is, well, on 15 lap old mediums, isn't he, folks? And, well, he might be struggling just a little bit, but Lockie won't worry about that too much, of course. And, well, he knows the guys ahead just need to stop. He won't care about the result. He won't care about where he finishes. And, well, none of the boys should. We certainly don't, and of course, none of you people at home should either. Of course, it is just about continuity at this very point, this very early stage of our Season 5, of course. Yes, pre-season testing. And yes, donning the F1 cars. It has been a while since we have donned them, of course. We usually use the multiplayer livery. Don't worry, folks, they'll be back next week. And of course, while the guys can just use whatever, I am quite happy with whatever they choose to use. They can design one, they can choose not to design one, but nevertheless we'll be using the multiplayer cars, and just to get the guys some, well, that word again, continuity on the model of car that they'll be using for the season, which will be the multiplayer, and just to fine tune anything else that they need to, of course, over the next couple of weeks, which will be good for everybody at hand. Nevertheless, Jazz caught right back up to the back of Ramsell. There you go, you can see him there, the senior doing his thing, and well, there is Jazz. What's he doing? Going in the pit lane, is he? No, he is not. I thought he might have been maybe trying to trick good old Senior and seeing what's going on there. But yes, Senior did spend a little bit. They're both spending batteries roughly around the same amount of time, and that's something we have to keep an eye on for next season, of course. It is that battery usage, and well, conservative is the way to go about it, but of course you need some for the start end of the lap, of course, and well, especially when there is, what, 12 laps remaining. Definitely want to have some in your tank, and I think Scotty's just chugging along, isn't he? He's not really losing too much time to Lukey Boy, and he's actually putting battery in the tank. So maybe Scotty's starting to work it out a little bit as this one rolls on, but doing a fantastic job is the man. And maybe just a little squirt here, a little squirt there is all he needs. And well, fantastic from the Scotty. There you go. Scotty has actually caught the back of him now, and well, fantastic from that man. As I did touch on, absolutely phenomenal job he has done to bring that pack right back to his to his front wing, hasn't he? Fantastic from the Scotty. Just kept on plugging away, and well, that's what you can do. So absolutely brilliant. He was about 5 or 6 seconds adrift from the next guy ahead, but absolutely reeled them in, of course. And well, is a little bit out of kilter, but nevertheless, those mediums should make it home. Dare say extremely worn towards the end, but Scotty looks to be very healthy on his tyre life, doesn't he? Absolutely looks bolted. Out of all of the drivers, just seems to be like very stable at this very point, very early doors of testing. And well, himself and Brian, the two notable battery I wasn't going to say conservers, but battery managers of the day at the moment. Where is Senior? Senior is, well, there he is there. And, well, Senior on circuit, just hovering a little bit. He's 7-lap-old mediums. I dare say he will probably need to stop again. And they're not making 19 laps, those bad boys. Another 10 laps to go. Well, excuse me, 11 laps to go. And yeah, I dare say he might need to stop again. They'll be very close to puncher territory. It'd be very interesting to see what they will be at. But there you go, he must have heard me. And in the pit lane he goes, followed by Jazz Bluescat, who are roughly on the same strategy. And they might throw on another set of mediums just to get themselves to the checkered flag if they've got a fresh set. And, well, there you go. Absolutely brilliant. On Max Solari, on goes the hard compound for both of them. They mustn't have had a fresh set of mediums left. And there you go. Away they both go to the checkered flag, of course. There is Lukey Boy, P7. And, well, just by his lonesome as well, the yellow light is on, as we did touch on. He's going to need to save. So is Z. Scotty has got rid of that yellow. So has Brian. And so has Lockie. So let's just have a look. It definitely is Lukey Boy and Z with the yellow light flashing at the moment. So they're definitely going to need to save a little bit more fuel. And, yes, quite possibly, mate. But nevertheless, absolutely brilliant. As, well, Suicide 5 doing Suicide 5 things in chat. But great to see him back and back with a bang, as we know he can be. But there is Z having a good look at Fury. And, well, Fury just maybe trying to help him out a little bit. Not too sure. But Fury has come out of the pit lane on that fresh rubber of the hard compound. He will quite comfortably make it to the checkered flag on those bad boys. But nevertheless, fresh rubber, and well, he should start to pull away from Z as they warm up. Z, well, boxed 6 laps earlier, as you can see for yourself, folks, and well, right on the rear wing of Fury. Let's just have a look. He's spent his battery as Z, and well, Fury's got some left in the tank, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Z would have been starting to lose speed halfway down that straight, and well, Fury, because he had battery in hand, had enough to defend, folks. So there's a couple of ways you can go about it, and well, these boys just doing their thing as they know how to do best. As well, Junior all over the back of Brian, and well, there you go. Well, I tell you what, Junior very much throws the car into the corners, doesn't he? Even in the low speed, and it just washes the front out and the rear out sometimes, ever so slightly. I tell you what, if you can harness that and really nail that, he will be an absolute weapon. I dare say he's losing so much time coming in and out of corners at the moment. Just looks so on my screen, or our point of view anyway. It could be completely different from his, but nevertheless, it is EA and Codemasters with connection. And we just wait to see what happens there. It's the same old story, I guess. But nevertheless, there are the two Ferraris just flowing in tandem. But Junior looking to make a move here on Brian. He's got no battery left, and look at Brian. He's got some left in the tank, and well, fantastic. That's point proven, folks, and that is point proven. Look, Brian's just got a little bit more, and that's all you need to do. You just need to have more than the guy that's behind, and well, there you go, Junior in the pit lane. And, well, there you go. He's allowed to do that, of course. It is pre-season testing. If he did that during the season, we'd be a naughty boy. But it is pre-season testing, and that is quite all right. As, well, Lockie, there he is there. And, well, just keep on trugging along, doesn't he? Is the Lockie, and well, absolutely harvesting and deploying, and well, there you go, just getting his rhythm. No one really to contend with. Let's just have a look to see who has got the fastest lap. And well, there you go. It is Liam Ramsell. He certainly has 1 minute 30.240 is what he set, but unfortunately he's not on circuit. He put it in the pit lane and DNF'd, of course. Might have something on. We do appreciate him putting his hand up to participate in this test. Nevertheless, can Lockie beat it? I dare say not now on that the oldish hard compound rubber. A 30.293 was his best. Of course, Brian with a 30.793. And the next best after that is Lukey Boy with a 31.203. Fury with a 31.325. Z with a 31.682. And Scotty with a 31.782. So very much level pegging, seesawing with kind of where they were in order last season. The gaps are a little bit close, but this is nothing to get too excited about. Of course, there are a couple more tests after this one, following next Friday and the following Friday, of course. And the boys still have the tracks to do in the server, of course, the time trial tracks and all that sort of stuff. We've got to group these boys properly, get them into their teams and get this Season 5 underway. Looking forward to it, folks. The 8th of nearly said October, but it is the 8th of August is when we're firing up for round 1. And, I'll tell you what, stay tuned because it looks to be an absolute belter. But here is Brian. Great. I'm really loving seeing him back on circuit doing his thing. And I'll tell you what, he's looking very, very good, is Brycer. And, fantastic. He's managing that battery very, very well. Lockie doing his thing and just comfortably going about his business. Didn't have too much pressure, of course. While the guys behind squabbled, he just sort of took off, didn't he? And just done his thing. But nevertheless, we'll get that and put that back on interval. It is currently 26.7 seconds the gap to Brian, of course. And, Scotty, there he is is just kept on trucking along and finds himself in P3. Fury's dropped off a little bit, but not too sure. Fury could be doing something extremely different as, testing a lot of different things. That's what it's there for. That's what this session is there for these drivers, of course. And Lukey Boy doing his thing as well. Z has come back into the picture and is fighting back very, very strongly. But nevertheless, there is, 6 laps remaining, folks. 6 laps remaining, and that will be the end of the first test. We won't be doing driver interviews or anything like that. It'd just be good for the boys to get some track time and for us to to just dip our toes in ever so slightly as if we needed to anyway, but nevertheless we will regardless. But fantastic. It's all about the drivers here, folks, and the best prepared they are, the better season they will have. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail, and that is the truest saying as I am sitting here talking to you folks at home. And fantastic. Here comes Jazz, and there you go, absolutely brilliant from the Jazz. Only 2 seconds away from the senior. Lukey Boy with 3 seconds to his name. Let's just have a look at these penalties, and they are all 3 seconds each. So there you go, folks. There you absolutely go. Brian Bromley doing his thing and, just absolutely managing. Lockie looking to see if he can improve on a fastest lap there, but I don't think so. Not on 11 lap old hards, of course. Has spent a little bit of battery, but I'll tell you what, he gained some. There's places where you can gain a hell of a lot and places where you cannot. And of course, let's just go on board with it with the telemetry up and have a look at that, of course. A lot of lifting, a lot of coasting, of course, and look how much percentage you can gain just from doing that. And it is absolutely phenomenal. So brilliant from Lockie to really knuckle down that lifting and coasting. And while he's hitting his braking points absolutely perfectly. And look at that, battery almost up to 80%. Fantastic from that man. So let's just see how he tackles the lap, of course. And all on the breakthrough here. So a whole heap of harvesting. And light on the power. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. A bit of battery spend there. But then he's off it very quickly, of course. And it's very much how you would use the DRS back in the day. The ERS back in the day, of course. Last year, I should say. And you can use it in short bursts, of course. It's probably the best way to go about it. You don't need to keep it on for multiple seconds at a time. It is just a waste. But there you go. Lockie showing how to go about it. And there you go. Another short burst of battery from the Lockie. And that's exactly what you do. The short burst you can use to defend. You can use to attack. You can use to open up a lead. You can use to do all sorts of things how you see fit, of course. But what you do not want to do is spend it haphazardly and, of course, have nothing left to when it comes time to defend or to attack or what have you. But there you go, absolutely brilliant. Oh, Junior felt sick, he was hot and he was sweating in his chair. It's insane. Well, I hope you feel better, Junior. No problem whatsoever. And well, count your lucky stars, it was a pre-season test, mate. But nevertheless, all good, my friend. I hope you feel better soon, and well, we'll see you next Friday, most likely, mate. But rest up and get plenty of fluids into your Junior, and we'll see you next week. Absolutely brilliant from you, my friend. There is your old man, Senior, out on circuit, and probably a good opportunity for you to give him some shtick, because he's been giving you some shtick last season, and well, you wouldn't get a better opportunity right about now, Junior. But nevertheless, having a good look at Brian, hanging on at the moment, still 30.2 seconds adrift, and that has opened up about 3 seconds or so in a couple of laps, hasn't it? So, well, there you go. Lockie absolutely sending it. Doing his thing is the Lockie, as well, there is Fury holding fort and doing a fantastic job with his battery as well. Absolutely brilliant from this man. I think he has got his head around it a little bit. I think Lukey Boy's starting to as well. And well, Z, well, he's getting there, isn't there? He's not quite there yet, but he is getting there. And I'll tell you what, when this man comes back on strong, he will come back on strong. Of course, he never left coming on strong. Of course, the Group 2 champion of Season 4. And well, had a phenomenal season, didn't he? Absolutely brilliant from the Z. And very much of the same. Rinse and repeat he's looking for is that man. But well, there is the Senior, there is Jazz, and there is Lockie. So fantastic from all involved. 3 laps remaining, and I dare say it has been a huge learning curve for all involved, I dare say, because well, you just don't get the training like what you do in real race trim, and that's exactly what this is. And well, this will be helping them out big time, of course. And well, fantastic. So he's trained you very well, Junior. Of course, Junior saying in the chats, if I started dissing my dad's driving style, I'll never see the next day. Absolutely, the chiropractor will give you a what for, that's for sure. And well, there you go, and send you on your merry way, Junior. But nevertheless, absolutely fantastic from your good self, mate. And well, we'll see you next week, my friend. Rest up, get well, and well, thank you very much yet again. But there is Fury looking like he's starting to put in some laps a little bit. And let's just see how this one pans out, of course. This is the time where if you had something left in the kitty is where you'd want to spend it in race trim anyway. 2 laps remaining, roughly around about there. And maybe Fury is just testing out a few different scenarios to see how he can attack the next Grand Prix. But this is what it's all about, folks. I would be changing absolutely everything up, putting the car in all sorts of different scenarios, even boxing out of kilter in one particular test, just to see how much you can manage and to come and to fight back to gain time and all that sort of stuff. And there's all these things that you need to sort of know to be in a competitive field and well, to maximise a result, as well as everybody knows the point system and the way the closeness of the groups and how it is all run. Of course, yes, last season, all right, yes, Middies did run away with the Group 1 and Z did run away with the Group 2, but yes, Z might be promoted. It just depends on how it all plays out. We are having a good look at the times and how the drivers do perform on this new spec. Getting the groups is extremely important and, well, correct as well. So Z just getting by Lukey Boy, and there you go. That is for position. And well, that will do him the world of good. Lukey Boy needing to save some fuel. That yellow light is flashing. Z has done all his fuel saving, and that yellow light has disappeared from his dashboard. And well, no one has. Well, there you go. Well, who was that, Lukey Boy? He's nearly got rid of it. He's nearly got rid of it. He's nearly got rid of it as Lukey Boy. And well, I dare say he's just got to do it for probably half a more lap, and he will be safe to go full hammer and tongs to the checkered flag. But bit of a cat and mouse with the battery and the fuel light as well. So Lukey Boy got his hands full at the moment, or has had his hands full all Grand Prix, managing not only the battery but the fuel as well. And well, you can see it on for yourself, folks, as we'll see just holding the fort now, and on 14 lap old hards, doing a phenomenal job is the Z. Here comes Fury, and he has closed the gap to Brian by about 2.5 seconds in the last lap or so. And so Fury is absolutely absolutely testing the limits on what he can do towards the end of a Grand Prix. And this is fantastic to see. This is what I like about this man. He does prepare very, very well. And, well, he does he's nothing about individual championships is the Fury. He's very much a team man, but I tell you what, he knows how competitive it can be. He knows how competitive he can be. I tell you what, if he puts himself in the right spot, anything can happen, and usually does. But he's looking very, very good. There is Lukey Boy and Z having a good old tussle, and well, there you go. Z spent a little bit. So has Lukey Boy, but we do know who's got more in reserve. And I dare say just one corner in advance does Lukey Boy have of lifting and coasting. But there you go, absolutely brilliant. Look at the battery he gained through that corner alone. Turn 4 was huge for Luke then. And well, there you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn 9 as well. Absolutely brilliant. Saving a whole heap of battery was the Lukey Boy. So he must have worked out a little bit of a trick there during the lifting and coasting phase and the heavy braking zones, of course, of this circuit. But absolutely gained a bucket load through those particular corners. There is Z. And, well, hovering on about 50%. But look at Lukey Boy. Well, there you go. 89, 90%. And, well, there you go. He was 20% lower than Z not too long ago. But those two corners absolutely topped it up. And he's going around the outside. Well, he's trying to, like he's not even there. And there you go. Well, there you go. Z's run out of battery. Lukey Boy nearly went up the back end of him. And he's decided just to tuck in, hasn't he? As, well, there is Lockie on the final lap of the race. Halfway through the circuit. And, well, absolutely brilliant. Well, donning the, well, Red Bull Racing livery. The Visa Cash App car. Whatever you want to call it. And absolutely stunning from these boys. Very different, of course. I'm so used to the multiplayer cars, but nevertheless, it is good to see these ones back, albeit for one test and one test only. But yes, absolutely brilliant. Brings back memories of yesteryear, of course. And well, when the league was huge, different name and multiple divisions, and oh my God, was that a thing of the past or what? But nevertheless, I digress. Excuse me, Lockie is about to take the checkered flag. We'll bring him home, and he's just made it on his fuel. Red light on. Fantastic, Lockie. He takes the win, of course. And, well, first across the line on the preseason test. Here is Brian. Absolutely stunning job from this man. I'll tell you what, he's turned some heads today, has Brian. And I'm very impressed with his battery management. Absolutely stunning from him. And, well, I dare say he might be a contender of a group title next season, the upcoming season, is Brian. Because I tell you what, if season one test is, this first test is anything to go by, he definitely was the cream of the crop with the battery saving, the battery management. Absolutely brilliant from Brian as he takes the checkered flag in P2. Fury will take P3. And, well, where is Z? There is Z there. He's a drag with the battery as Lukey Boy goes around the outside. Z trying to fight it and has spun at the last corner. There you go. Lukey Boy crosses in fourth. Scotty will take fifth. And Z, in the end, will take sixth. There is Jazz doing his thing 3/4 of the way through the lap. He does have senior for company, and I think Jazz is missing a full front. Is he missing a nose? Let me just double check. He certainly is. No, he's not. No, he is not. Oh, that is tricky to tell. It is tricky to tell on this game. You have to have your eyes absolutely peeled to pick that one up. But nevertheless, let's just double check. No, he's got a full complement of the front wing. Absolutely stunning from you, Jazz. He's going to bring it home in P8. There is Senior doing his thing. Jazz out of battery. Senior's going to take him over the line. Oh, did he or did he not? Oh, Senior, you party pooper, you. Of course. He did. He must have been thousands in it. But nevertheless, we'll have a good look at that on the timing screens. Well, that was season 5. That is preseason test over. Done and dusted for the first one, of course. And, well, the fastest lap, Scotty, bang. Scotty did improve with a 29.808 for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix towards the end. Set that on the soft, did he? He certainly did. And, well, fantastic from the Scotty. As, well, there you go. Senior, in the end, did pip Jazz Blues Cat by, what is that? The math off the top of my head is 28 hundredths of a second. Fantastic. Well, that is us, folks. That is us done and dusted. We do hope you enjoyed that preseason test. We'll be back next Friday for another preseason test. Until then, we hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. We are Southern Cross Racing. Goodbye.